Hello and welcome to another one of my thoughts videos. In this one I'd like to get onto an actual topic rather than just foundational stuff, although this is a little bit foundational as a topic and that's why I chose it. It's part of a wider thought process, I suppose you'd call it, but I'll segment it because that's what we're living at the moment. The older you get, the more you get concerned about health as people start to die around you. Your parents die, the older generation die, and then your own generation starts to die of all sorts of medical complications and things, and you start to look at those. And you start to look a bit closer. Now with this worldwide quarantining, it has forced me to take a look at particular areas a little bit more in detail. Now, when you're younger, you believe the authorities a lot more than you really should. You believe your parents, and what you're told you take as honest truth. A lot of what you are told is the honest truth, and it's easily verifiable, and as a child you soon learn that those things are very verifiable, and as you get older also you see, oh, that's pretty true, you can go verify it for yourself. But then there are areas where the supposed experts have access to more information, and they spend more time that you're not able to investigating things. So you don't get the information and you don't get the time to work on it, so you have to believe the experts. Now, the older I have got, I have found that there are so many very foundational things about life that we were told one thing, and I find that it's not actually so. And I'll get on to more of those topics in the future. In this one, I want to look at health. And the title, I think I'll call it, is Modern Shamanism. Now, it's not spooky stuff. It's just a term, which I'd explain now, to explain our medical situation that we're living today. Now, when I was younger, I took a keen interest in biology and the human organ and things, and I even considered a career in medicine. But I used to work after school in a pharmacy, in a drugstore, stocking shelves and cleaning and all that sort of thing. And at the end of the day, I had to take the medicine packages to homebound people. That certainly didn't impress me. It was a very sad situation and really off-putting. And so I never did pursue medicine, but I've always had a keen interest in it and how the body functions and how things work. I was also a sportsman, and so I was also very keen to know how my body worked and what the limits of my body were so that I could push it to the limit, throwing myself in the air, doing somersaults and things like that. So quite dangerous stuff, but good. And so for years, I've had a keen interest in medicine. Now, as I've grown older and come here to South America, I've had contact with a number of what you'd call witch doctors or shamans, shamanes. I'm a total Christian, and I therefore am totally against shamanism and witch doctors as such, because there's a very demonic and a very occultic side to it. But having worked with ex-shamans and ex-witch doctors, I've also come to see another side of it, which gets me thinking the way I'm thinking at the moment. The witch doctors of these communities literally consider themselves the doctor of their communities. And in fact, they have found many, many medical cures that are so good, and plants and herbs and barks and things that they have found to be very effective in health, to the point that the modern scientists in laboratories are trying to find out what components are in those things and trying to replicate them in the lab. Now, the difference is that, and the similarity at the same time, is the witch doctors get to a point where they cannot do any better than what they can with their herbs and things. And then they start to consult spirits, and they get into the demonic realm and into the occultic realm, and that's where it really goes screwy and haywire. Now the ones like this guy here, he found that he pushed things to the limit, and then he found that even the demonic spirits who were able to show him how he could travel through the air in his spirit and all those sorts of things, he found that it wasn't effective and that he was being lied to. So he gave his life to Jesus Christ and became a Christian, and is now living a much healthier and a much better life than as a witch doctor. Another pastor that I am working with was also a shaman up until half a dozen, 7 or 8 years ago. He also found the same thing, that the spirits that he was consulting were lying to him, leading him down the wrong tracks, and he eventually found Jesus Christ also, and now he is changed in his life. His cousin, who is still a witch doctor, contemplating Christianity, still hasn't made the decision, but he is also on that road to discovery that there is a better plan. Now, at least in these 3 cases that I know personally, plus a multitude of others that I have known testimony of and read stories and listened to testimony, all those sorts of things, there was a good base of health that they were trying to pursue. Now, this is the similarity with our modern day medical system. There is a genuine desire by the medical profession to have good health. But there comes a point with the shamans that they come to a point where they have no answer in their herbal things and stuff, and go a step further into the unknown. And there are areas that they have absolutely no clue about, and they make assumptions, false assumptions, and also go down wrong paths. This is also a similarity in our medical profession today. They have discovered many amazing and truthful and correct things. What treats this, what treats that, how this works and how that works. But there also comes a point in the medical profession, which they are not willing to admit, is that they then start making assumptions, going down wrong paths, and basing whole studies on incorrect or non-factual evidences and things, and they go down the same path as the shamans. Now, as the shamans head down the path into the unknown, they find that they can gain wealth and power through their profession. And this is another similarity with the medical profession that we have today. As they go down into the unknown, wealth and power also apply to the medical profession today. The shamans go as far as even making people sick so that then they can heal them, so that they can make more money. They using incantations, sending demonic beings and all that sort of thing to achieve their ends. And this also happens in our medical profession. I don't know about the demonic part, but certainly the medical profession can also make people sick, and in fact keep people sick so that they can continue to make money off them. So there is a similarity between the old shamanism and the new modern shamanism, which is the medical profession. During this quarantine, the investigations that I was sort of forced to do to understand this whole situation a bit better quite shocked me, actually. It came into that category of what I was saying at the beginning of this video, that there are certain things that we have been led to believe as being very rock solid true, that you under further investigation find that it is just not so. Now, all this worldwide quarantining gave me time and motivation to study a bit more about viruses, virology and germ theory. And I was quite amazed to see how shamanistic the whole area is. And this is one of the ways that the powers that be have managed to pull the wool over so many people's eyes. They have acted in very shamanistic ways, and the whole area needs investigating. I'll look at that, I think, in the next video with a little bit more knowledge, some understanding, and maybe some wisdom there, all about the area of virology. So see you in the next one.